This is Bob the Beast Sapp, and you're listening to Ramsey on Word on the Street. I'm on the street, baby. Word.
Welcome to the Word on the Street podcast, late night edition, Thursday, coming at you June 13th, the year 2000 and chill. It's the 14th if you're on the East Coast, so welcome everybody. This show right now, it's going to be really relaxed. We don't have a set guest lined up. We're just going to shoot the shit, talk about the latest UFC, MMA news, rumors, bullshit, scandals, whatever the hell. And we are opening up the phone lines. If you want to call in, the number is 512-782-WORD. That is 512-782-9673.
And there is a Skype, too, if you want to call in on Skype, correct?
Exactly. You can also get Skype, get that shit going, call in for free. We actually recommend that method. It's just more interactive. Skype in, just add me to your contact list. Word on the Street Podcast. That's the name on Skype. Word on the Street Podcast. Just call in and join the discussion. We do have people on board. We have my co-host, Jake from the MMA Podcast, another great show that you have to check out. Tell us a little bit about that, Jake. We never give you enough goddamn time. What's up?
What's going on, guys? Yeah, just check us out on Twitter, the MMA Podcast, all one word, pretty easy. We had Adam Hunter, also known as MMA Roasted, on this past week. To be brutally honest, we're going to be doing kind of late shows this month because I'm fixing to move out from Florida to Denver, so I don't know if we're going to get any crazy guests on this June, but when we come back in July, we're aiming for some high-caliber guests. We're trying to get Eddie Bravo on before he fights Royler Gracie in a rematch at Metamoris 3 and a few other guys. I don't want to mention it before I kind of have my ducks lined up. But, yeah, just follow us on Twitter, the MMA Podcast, and give my boy boy Ramses and Ross some credit where it's due. Ramses, the word on the street, it's the best underground podcast in the business. And Ross, he's the motherfucking best Jew in the business.
Hell yeah, he is. And yeah, Eddie Bravo, we should get him to fucking come on our show as well. This fucking guy, Eddie Bravo, he inspired the Word on the Street podcast in a sense. Him and the Joey Karate videos, they got me into you can talk about the UFC and MMA. You can have a fun time doing it, joking around. It is a ridiculous sport when you actually break it down. I love it to death. But why not make a show that is just as ridiculous commentating on it? That was the entire goal. Eddie Bravo helped me along in ways that I can't even mention. But yeah, we will try to get him on the Word on the Street podcast. And you did mention we do have on the call with us right now on the show tonight our defending champion here on the Word on the Street Trivia. He is none other than Ross Finkelstein, the best Jew in the MMA business. I'm telling you want to follow him on Twitter at Ross Finkelstein. Ross, how you doing tonight? What's up over there?
I'm doing good. Shabbat shalom, motherfuckers.
Hell yeah, the best Jew ever, damn it. Now tonight, we're going to try to keep it, it's going to be a short show tonight. This is basically just a little pot talk going on my end here. I have been smoking marijuana. We were supposed to start about 2 hours ago, but you know how it goes, man.
Yeah, I was busy at a baseball game watching my Rays get hammered by the Kansas City Royals 10-1. It was a good time.
That just gave me more time to smoke for this and come up with some show topics. I had nothing, people. It was a slow news day up until the latest scrum shit from UFC 161 came up. We'll be talking a little bit about that, I guess. But, actually, I'll start off with that. One of the things that came out of the news today was that the UFC is coming to Texas. If you didn't know, now you know. I am broadcasting live from my compound here in Austin, Texas. The fact that the UFC is coming back to Texas is great. I was waiting for this announcement all year. I've heard rumors about it. Now it's going to happen. It's going to be UFC 166 in Houston. More than likely happening in October. And the main event is probably going to be Cain Velasquez defending his title against Junior Dos Santos. Now, people, it's great news that the UFC is coming back to Texas, but holy fuck, I'm getting run over and fucked on this one. Just a little personal note here. I more than likely won't be able to go to this fucking event when it comes to Houston, Texas. All right, why? It just so happens, they haven't announced the exact date in October yet, but my brother is having his wedding in October. It's going to be on a Saturday. Not only is he going to have his wedding in October, he's also going to have his bachelor party in October on a Saturday. So that means there's a 50% chance that I just will not be able to go to the fucking UFC event in my home state. I'm pretty pissed off, but I gotta do what I gotta do. It's family. It's just, oh man, it's gotta be the one fucking, circumstance that can come up besides death that would prevent me from going, and it's happening, and it's like my brother, why did he pick this year? Alright, people. What I'm gonna try to do is I'm gonna try to have to break up his marriage. Or at least postpone it. Maybe I'll cause a little fight. I'll instigate something. I'll troll, dude. I'll do whatever it takes. They gotta move this wedding, alright? I gotta go to the UFC event. I have to. UFC 166 in Houston. So I can't make it, guys. I don't know if any of you are even gonna attempt to. You guys are too far away from Texas, aren't you? Jake or Ross, any of you thinking about coming to Texas?
I'm gonna be in Colorado at the moment. I might. I mean, fuck it. I have a couple cousins down in Austin. I might try and visit, but more than likely, no. Also, I was kind of curious, Ramses. What is the status on the old knee surgery?
Yeah, that's another thing. My knee's fucked up, man. It's worse than fucking Patrick Cote in the Anderson Silva fight. It's blowing out worse than Dan Henderson's. I'm getting around. I gotta come clean here.
Just fucking start calling him Hamzis Hua.
Yep, I'm all fucked up, people. I'm actually using a cane most of the time. You have your good days and bad days, but yeah, I am due for knee surgery. I keep postponing it, basically because that's pretty major surgery. It's going to take me out of the game for a while, and I hate doctors and people touching me. So once I get over that, I'll get in there. They'll do what they got to do, fix me up. But yeah, so now since this wedding thing's coming up, I don't even know if I'll have time to recover adequately, if I should just wait until after. That's what I don't even fucking know. I'm all over the place, man. Ross, are you prepared to remind the audience of your location? Where are you from?
I am residing in New York currently, Long Island, and unless there's no way I'm going to Houston. I mean, I am a Jew, so I can be bought if the price is right. Someone will pay me. I will go. But, yeah, I will be sticking around.
Nice. And Ross, I hope you're around for Tuesday's podcast. We are going to have on a special guest. I'm not entirely sure of the pronunciation of her last name, but I believe it's Jennifer Bonjean. She is an attorney at law over there in New York. She's working closely with the UFC on getting it legalized, and that's going to be the topic on Tuesday. We're going to have her on. She's also, I believe, Uriah Hall's representative. So yeah, we're going to have a ton of questions for her. It's going to be talking about the legalization in New York, but also, of course, you know me, I'm going to have some ridiculous questions. I have some hypothetical legal questions I want to hit her with, just stuff that you've never even considered, but, I'll do a little testing out. It's going to be a fun show. Tune in Tuesday. Now, also I want to note, I'm pretty sure our friend of the show, Alan, he probably will show up to this Houston event, and I just don't know how he's going to act, because if it's Cain Velasquez versus Dos Santos defending his title here in Texas, in Houston, Texas, that place is going to be crawling with Mexicans, and Alan's head is probably going to explode. Alan, if you're there, call in, man. I hope you realize this going into it. That's all I got to say.
He actually tweeted out he's in a movie right now. He's seeing Man of Steel, so
that's right.
He'll not be joining us.
Yeah, man.
Sucker.
Damn good movie. I haven't seen the whole thing yet, but I'll probably go watch it tomorrow. I think. I don't know, people. I might just end up sleeping and smoking weed all day. Anyway, the first topic we want to get to. I just got to hit with the I got to go with the sex angle here. Because the ratings are low, people. The Word on the Street podcast. We need to boost these ratings. These producers, man, they're sending me notes every week. They're harassing me at home. They're threatening me this and that. They're breathing down my neck. The sponsors are just we need to boost the ratings. So of course we're going to go for the sensationalism, people. I'm not above that. First topic. Let's talk about just a question I thought of. Now that we have the women's division in the UFC, and by the way, we interviewed Marina Shafir on Tuesday. It was a great fucking interview. Definitely check it out. YouTube, Marina Shafir interview. And you'll see the Word on the Podcast, Word on the Street podcast interview that we did with her. It was a damn good one of the best times I've ever had interviewing somebody. We'll definitely have her on. And also the women's bantamweight, the women's Ronda Rousey was in the background just laughing her ass off the whole time. It was hilarious. Check out the damn interview. We asked her questions that you probably...
Don't be a goddamn Uncle Tom, like Roy Nelson would say. Check out the interview, cocksucker.
Exactly. It was good. But with that being said, it comes to mind, people, and I'm going to pose this to Jake and Ross. Women's MMA, you gotta admit, we're all checking these babes out when they show up to fight. My question to you, who is the hottest woman in women's MMA right now? You know, the casual fan's going to say Ronda Rousey. That's a fair argument. I wouldn't put up too much of a disagreement, but I'm going to ask you guys. Obviously, there are a bunch of amateur MMA fighters, Invicta fighters, definitely having the looks here. Anybody come to mind? Jake, in your opinion, who is the hottest babe in women's MMA?
There are a few of them that I never really hear mentioned. The karate hottie, Michelle Watterson. If you're into the fucking Asian broads, then this chick is right up your goddamn alley. I'm trying to think. There is this one girl who's gonna be on the upcoming season of Tough. Fuck. Her name is escaping me now. Jessamine Duke. She's pretty hot. I don't know if she's as hot as Rousey or Tate. Probably the coaches have got it as far as looks on the season of Tough. But don't sleep on the karate hottie, motherfucker. Sleep under that bitch, because she's pretty hot.
Ross Finkelstein, what do you think, man? The hottest babe in women's MMA right now. You got a nomination?
Yeah, I'm gonna still go with the cookie cutter answer. I'm gonna pick Ronda. I mean, it's just... There's competition there, but she just wins.
She is the champ at the forefront.
It's like fucking, what is that actress? She looks just like
Julia Stiles.
Yeah.
It's like it's like Julia Stiles. Yeah, it's like Julia Stiles on like hot TRT. Like fucking whatever the like female TRT is to make you look hotter. It's whatever that chick is on whatever kind of drug that would be. That's what you get with Ronda Rousey.
Oh man, in high school, my girlfriend, she made me watch that Julia Stiles movie with the Joker.
10 Things I Hate About You.
Yes,
right?
yes. I thought it was called Set It Off for some reason.
Yeah, if you were born in the 1980s, I guarantee at one point your girlfriend made you watch that movie.
Oh Jesus, all the fucking time, man, and I went along with it hook, line, and sinker, man. It was, god damn it, when he gets up and does that show tune, holy fuck. And then that other fucking movie, You Got Served, wasn't she in that one too? The Ronda Rousey looked like.
Was it You Got Served? I think I'm thinking of the one. I don't think it was You Got Served, but it was like the one with her and the black dude, and it's like, yo, we're dancing now, and we're interracial, and we're all against the fucking fray and shit. I'm looking up whatever that movie is now.
It just comes to mind because I had this dummy friend, dude, with like crazy red hair here in Austin, just in college. We would hang out, go to the bars down on 6th Street, which is where you go in Austin that's where all the college babes go. And he got into a fight one time. He got his ass kicked, beat down. He was all bleeding on the floor.
Save the Last Dance.
Right. Oh, so my friend's laying on the pavement there, like, and I'm just, I'd never got involved with any of his fights because they were all stupid shit. Like, he couldn't even remember what he was fighting about. But anyway, he's laying there, and then this black girl walks by him, and she's just like, "You got served." It was the funniest fucking shit ever. I still make fun of him to this day, man. He'll never live that shit down. It's like 10 years ago.
Styles' best role, though, was the Bourne Identity. I think she was in both of the sequels, too. But, yeah, that was... And she I think was in Dexter once Dexter started getting super shitty. She was like one of the like signs like if you get to the point in Dexter where Julia Stiles is, you've already passed the like point where that whole series turns into shit.
Oh yeah, once they introduced the baby, like once Dexter has a baby and is raising, that it was all over. But yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah, the Ronda Rousey lookalike was in Dexter. And look, I'll say this right now. Ronda Rousey is hotter than that Julia Stiles bitch.
Way
Definitely.
hotter. I thought Julia Stiles was hot, and then after I've seen Rousey, it looks like she got hit in the face with an axe.
Yeah, she's done.
If I can just interrupt for a second, let's not forget about Marina Shafir.
No kidding, man. I was doing the interview research, as I always do. I am a professional journalist here, of course. Yeah, I love her eyes, man. Damn, deep ocean blue. Wow. Yeah, she's a looker herself. So that's and she's actually roommates with Ronda. And I'll just let your imaginations take care of the rest, gentlemen.
Threesome.
Who knows? But Ross, so you're going with Ronda Rousey as the hottest woman in female MMA. So honestly, you don't think Miesha Tate compares? Just Misha's personality has just ruined everything for everyone, in my opinion. I mean, there are still some people out there who still like her, but her personality, she's just her and her pet boyfriend. Yeah, no kidding, man. Jake, Ronda versus Miesha. You're drunk at a party. They're both coming on to you. You know, what are you gonna do? You gonna hit the bong first? All right, that's a good play.
All right.
That's a great start.
Let me think of dude. I was sort of talking about it before the show. Both of them are different kinds of hotness, and I think we actually talked about this on the MMA podcast like a year ago. Ronda Rousey and Miesha Tate are both hot in different ways. Miesha Tate, she looks like that bitchy cheerleader that you always wanted to bang in high school, but, you know, she always was dating the jock or whoever, and, like, she was way out of your league. But Ronda Rousey is like that chick who lived on your block. You had the same bus stop before school. You know, you always looked at one another kind of funny. Fucking, she's the hottie next door. She has that sort of appeal. Miesha has the bitchy, hot cheerleader sort of hotness, both of which are great in their own right, but I gotta go with that girl next door hotness.
Yep. Hands down. I would, you know, if she asked nicely, I would probably take Ronda Rousey to bed. That's the word on the street.
Would you consummate a relationship with Ronda Rousey?
There would be some form of sexual congress. I don't know if I'd go all the way with her. You know, I'm very prudish about that, you know.
You have never touched a woman. You swear by it.
And this is true. I have not felt the touch of a female.
I'll go ahead. The definition of consummate: to fulfill a relationship through sex, to bring a relationship to completion, or gratify a desire, especially by having sexual intercourse. And I would be lying if I said I would not consummate a relationship with one of these MMA hotties. Come on, son. Come on, son. I'm a red-blooded man. Come on, son.
We've effectively ruined any future episode with Ronda Rousey
yep,
on
and
here.
the next time Ronda Rousey comes on the show, she's going to say, "Hi, Coach Jamie Huey, that Ramsey's guy is all right, but would you make sure I never have to talk to that creepy other guy? Because I listened to the show afterwards, and he was like defining consummation and saying he wanted to consummate me, and then he was screaming, 'Come on, son,' at the top of his voice. It was very, very disturbing. It sounded like he was on a lot of coke, which I can guarantee, Rhonda, I'm on nothing but those natural herbs, son."
I can back
Come on,
that up.
son!
I can back that up. Jake is cocaine free at this time. He gets
at this
riled up by
time.
the
I've done it
females.
once in my life. That was like 2 years ago. What do you mean at this time? Come on, son! This is a $6,000 suit! Come on!
You can listen to the MMA podcast on Wednesdays, I believe. Just follow him on Twitter at the MMA podcast. You'll get get all the coked up news you need, people. And we will, and I will say that Coach James, the living legend, Huey, our co-host, when he's not on the call, and actually when he is on the show, he has nothing to do with the views of the other people. All right, he's the straight man in this thing. He is the wise one. He is the living legend, people.
Yeah, I don't want any of my stupidness to rub off on him and make anybody think any less of Coach Huey.
The best in the biz, man. Well, besides Ross, who is the best Jew in the biz, there's a distinction there.
And what am I, the best person with partial Down syndrome in the biz or something?
The best sex offender in the biz.
Yeah, the
That's
best
right,
sex offender in the biz. What up, ladies and gentlemen?
That's right. Jake the Snake is what we call him.
AKA the J Train. Woo-woo.
From Twitter, from Brandon Bell on Twitter, he just wanted to weigh in here. He says, quote, Misha Tate is busted. She got a fat ass, but that's all she's fought.
She's got. He said fought, but I'm 99% sure he was trying to say got.
Yeah.
Maybe he was trying to say feet. That's all she's feet, but I'm pretty sure it's got.
I don't know. Misha Tate, though, according to Brandon Bell, is busted and she's got a fat ass. But that's all. Next topic, we'll get a little bit serious here. John Jones versus Gustafsson was announced, and John Jones opens up as an 8-1 favorite against Alexander. Jake, do you agree with these odds? Do you think 8-1, man? That's everybody's predicting a smashing. So, what do you think, man?
Man, if anything, they should be calling it more of a smashing. I really think if you played this fight out 8 times, if Alex Gustafsson won once, I would be shocked. And that's nothing to take away from Gustafsson. He's got excellent footwork. I do think he's easily one of the top 5 guys at light heavyweight, but John Jones is in a league of his own.
Ross, John Jones is an 8-1 favorite, man. Those are worse odds than our hero Chael Sonnen had, which I disagreed with those odds, of course. He was seconds away from becoming your next champion. But Ross, what do you think about Jones versus Gustafsson? 8-1? What the fuck?
8-1 is ridiculous. That's crazy. To say that's basically saying Gustafsson has absolutely no chance, and to say that Gustafsson has absolutely no chance, it's a hefty statement. I mean, anybody has a chance, especially Gustafsson with his length. This is the first time John Jones is ever going to fight, has ever fought someone who can match his length and match his size. Strength-wise, probably not. Wrestling-wise, definitely not. Grappling-wise, definitely not. But, striking, he can match. And I can't say definitively he can match the striking, but he definitely has the size.
Well, I don't think they're gonna let Gustafsson win at all, man. He has no chance whatsoever. I am once again gonna go with the conspiracy here. Nobody's gonna buy a Gustafsson pay-per-view. They're not gonna let his ass win. He's gonna put John over one more time. It'll be 5 rounds of sparring. Hopefully they'll make it look good. Maybe have a little rehearsal or something for the fans at least. But yeah, I agree. Everybody sees the writing on the wall. Alex, you're just not there yet. And what, is his English even that good? I don't know. That's always going to bring you down in the UFC if you're not a Brazilian. So yeah, what else? Oh, that was from the, I don't even know when that's going down. October, right? No, September.
September in Toronto.
September in Toronto. Why the hell do they always fight Jones up there? That's kind of weird.
Because Jones has sold out 2 cards now in Toronto.
Yeah, it's 3 of his last 5 fights now in Toronto.
Those Canadians just love themselves some Jones. What the hell?
And they had the option of either putting Jones there, or they could have done the Henderson Grant fight, or they could have done the GSP fight, but GSP has fought literally his last 6 fights in Canada, something like that, something crazy like that.
Yeah, and he's fighting fucking Hendricks next. Supposedly, I still don't think that fight happens, but he's gonna fight him in Vegas or something. They obviously, if GSP is gonna lose, they obviously don't want that shit to go down in Canada. I don't blame them. I do the same thing. But again, I don't think we see this fight happen. Something's gonna happen. I'm predicting it right now. Mark my fucking words. Now, saw an interview with Dana White and Ariel Hawaii, friend of the show.
Hawaii.
Dana White was claiming, Ariel was asking him about Reza Madadi, hope I'm pronouncing it right, UFC fighter who got arrested for fleeing the cops, robbery, something like that, some crazy-ass charges. And so Ariel brings it up and asks Dana about it, and Dana claims that's the first time he's ever heard about it, just right then and there, coming from Ariel's mouth. Jake, do you believe him for 1 second?
No, of course not. Dana's... If I heard about it and talked about it, Dana definitely heard about it. I don't know why he would act like he had never heard about it before. It doesn't make any sense. Maybe he realizes the UFC should have punished him when they didn't. But yeah, I really don't believe this for a second.
Ross, you and the Jews you know all about conspiracies and creating them. What's going on here? Why is Dana White pretending like he didn't hear about this shit going down?
Because he may not have heard about it. I mean, there is a chance he may not have heard about it. He's a relatively busy guy, and it's not like this dude's one of the big names on the roster. Here's how we'll know. If he gets cut within the next couple of days, that's how we know that Dana did not know.
Well, he did say, after he claimed not to have even known about this, Ariel said, so he is still a UFC fighter? Dana said yes. And then they moved on quickly. They moved on quickly to the latest UFC homophobic scandal. This time, it was Josh Thompson posting some shit on Facebook for whatever reason. I have no fucking idea where it even came from. Posting some shit on Facebook about gay marriage. Apparently, he has a lot to think on the subject. He was musing that if you allow gay marriage to be legal, doesn't that create some sort of not even a slippery slope, just a straight slope into, well, he went to the extreme. He said it would cause incest and
pedophilia. Yeah, he said pedophilia and incest, which, fucking kids and goats and all that stuff is just like gay marriage, right? Or whatever the fuck he wants to think.
It was a little outrageous. I have no idea why he even posted it. If anybody, obviously, I just read the quote from it. I didn't read the entire story. I don't use Facebook. It's a shrine to all my ex-girlfriends. I ain't got time for that. Also we are just now being joined by the classic co-host of the Word on the Street podcast. He is the stealthiest motherfucker in the universe. He is the ninja himself. Ninja, are you there? How you doing?
What's up, guys? How are you doing?
Pretty fucking good. We're just talking about this latest UFC homophobic scandal. The last one, of course, being, I believe, Diaz called Caraway a fag. Or was that the last one? It's hard to keep track. There've been so many. But, yeah, Ninja, did you even hear about this Josh Thompson? He's saying he's against gay marriage because it'll probably lead to incest and pedophilia. Obviously, well, we all have our thoughts on gay marriage, but did you hear about this?
I have not heard about that. I've been out of the loop, I guess. Not that I even really care what Josh Thompson says about gay marriage. Anyway, so.
Word. Jake, man, what do you think? Obviously, Dana was questioned about it. He tried to downplay it a little bit. Like, he was saying Josh Thompson was just asking a question. It sounds like he was angling for, not taking any disciplinary action against Josh Thompson. Sounds like they're just going to try to, scoot this one under the rug. Obviously, too many homophobic scandals in the UFC is going to look bad for the organization. But what do you think, Jake? What's going to happen here?
Nothing. I think Dana said that Josh is just here. I'll go and look up the quote now. But as far as what I think about it, people can think whatever they want to think. And it's sort of funny how the pendulum now has swung from, it used to be if you were gay, you couldn't talk about it. Now if you're anti-gay. You can't talk about it. I'm looking at the Dana quote here. Dana basically said that he should stick to finger painting or fighting and leave the talking to smarter people. Josh Thompson didn't hurt anybody, so the UFC won't be fining him or anything. But it definitely. I mean, Dana makes a good point. You just need to keep your mouth shut. If you're gonna be saying stupid stuff and saying that a gay marriage is like pedophilia, whether that's with your religious values or not, that's stupid. And it's I think a pretty cut and dry case. Thompson, he had a very impressive fight in his last going in the UFC against Nate Diaz, beating him. So the UFC isn't trying to shoo him out the door anytime soon.
Ross, we got to get your perspective. I'm assuming you're a man of religion here. The whole gay marriage thing, obviously Josh Thompson, he's probably not going to catch too much heat, I don't think. Let me know if you disagree. But I got to know, the shit that he said, what's your take, man? Gay marriage. You think it leads to pedophilia and what was the other thing? What?
Incest.
That's right, incest. How could I forget that?
Well, first off, I want to say that I'm not religious at all. Mm-hmm. Just going to throw that out there. Other thing is, I do not give a shit if two people who are gay want to get married. Who gives a shit? It's 2013, not fucking 12 BC. Let them get married. If they want to get married, whatever. I think Josh Thompson is a great fighter. I think he has absolutely no business going on Twitter and saying something like that. I think if you're a UFC fighter, you should shut the fuck up and stick to punching people in the face.
Yeah, it's kind of amazing that, like, if I were a UFC fighter, Jesus, I wouldn't even post anything anywhere. Like, especially if it were on a sensitive subject like that. He must have, in the back of his mind, like, at least realized somebody's going to notice. And what is wrong with these people, man? I don't understand it. Ninja?
Even bad I can't even say that word.
Try again.
Publicity. Yeah. Bad publicity is still publicity.
Yeah, you're right about that.
Tell that shit to Kramer. God damn it.
You're right. There's probably hundreds of people that didn't know who Josh Thompson was, that do now. So, and he's not getting in trouble for it. So, actually, I think he does come out with a win on this one. Good on him.
I think it's kind of shitty that I mean, just because they're on TV, they're not allowed to have opinions. I mean, I understand the UFC being pissed because it's it's an international company and you're representing the company, but I mean, this isn't like, I mean, it's a UFC fighter, for God's sake. So he doesn't have power over anybody. He can't make laws and rules, and
you are.
It's not like
I mean, you definitely are allowed to have opinions. You just can't have opinions that other people are inferior to the rest of the world. It's like certain opinions just aren't gonna go over kosher. I mean, that would be exactly like, say Jim Miller saying, I like black people. I'm friends with a lot of black people. I respect them if I'm fighting with them or if I'm training with them, but I don't think they should be allowed to vote. Like, that would just be something stupid as fuck to say, and I'm sorry, what Josh Thompson said was also stupid as fuck.
Word,
stupid as fuck as may be, though, he still has the right to his opinion, and if it's not, I'm not a gay man or an incest or whatever the fuck he said, I'm not any of those things.
I'm all three.
So I don't think I should have a problem with what he says. If it doesn't pertain to me at all, why the fuck do I care what he says? If I was a gay man, then okay, maybe I have a beef with what he says. But I mean, I don't. Is he wrong for saying it? Yeah. I mean, but where's the line? I mean, you see these fighters like Josh Koscheck and some of the other douchebags that have been on The Ultimate Fighter. And, they're just dumbasses that say whatever they want to get heat so they get noticed. But where's the line? I mean,
people have the right to say their thoughts on this, but at the same time, saying what Josh Thompson says, it accomplishes nothing. It accomplishes nothing but opening the door for a lot of criticism. So, I mean, you have the right to voice your opinion, but you got to think about risk reward. What are you accomplishing by saying this? What is the downside of saying this going to be? And now in 2013, if you're going to be saying that you're against this, you got to be ready for some heat coming from the public.
And Jake, we all know you agree with hypothetical Jim Miller.
Well, I mean, I kind of agree with him. I think black people should have 3/5 of a vote, but that's a whole other thing.
Wait, hold on. That's a little inside there. We might have some new listeners here. What's up with Jim Miller? He's a racist, but what was the exact comment?
I just mentioned like five minutes ago that Josh Thompson saying that he is, saying that, gay marriage opens the door to incest and pedophilia. That would be just like if, hypothetically, Jim Miller came out and said he was against black people voting, which I totally agree with him on.
Somebody mentioned Jim Miller earlier, though. All right, never mind. There is always a chance that Josh Thompson was just trolling, and we are going to discuss the biggest disgust. I am disgusted. That's why we're going to discuss the biggest UFC trolls out there. But first, just something I want to cover real quick. I don't know if you guys saw the photo of Dominic Cruz is, he's in rehab trying to work out again. His leg is all skinny as hell, atrophied. That knee's shot to shit. He's had 2 surgeries. It's going to be hard for him to come back. And of course, now fucking Renan Barão is also fucked up. Dominic Cruz and Renan Barão, the champions of the fucking bantamweight 135-pound division, are both fucked up. So, I'm going to ask you guys, Jake, Ross, and Ninja, what do you think the UFC should do with this division? Because it sounds like Barão's, honestly, he's got a bad one. Not one of these, I'll be back in a couple weeks or months. It sounded like he might be out of the game for a little while, too. So, Jake, what do you think's going to happen with this division, man? What the fuck?
Uriah Faber's always wanted that belt. Give him that interim championship, son.
Ross, what do you think, man? What should they do here? Dana already said he doesn't want an interim for the interim, which I agree would be just fucking silly as hell. What do you think's going to happen here, man?
I think they should have stripped Cruz of his belt a long time ago. I mean, the dude's fought twice in the UFC. He's defended his title twice. Renan Barão has just as many. I mean, he doesn't have just as many he has just as many title fights, and he's got more fights in the UFC. To me, he's more of a champion than Cruz is right now. I don't know what the fuck they do with this. It's a shitty situation.
It is, man. Ninja, do you care about the 135-pound division, Dominic Cruz or Renan Barão?
I mean, I do. I look at this from a business standpoint. Titles are no good sitting on somebody's shelf that's rehabbing. The same with GSP being out for like a year and a half. If you're out for an extended period of time, you don't deserve to be the champion anymore. Give it to somebody, give it next in line. Have somebody like Uriah Faber and fight for the actual, not this interim bullshit. And then, we're going to have 18 belts and everybody's an interim champ because they're hurt. If you can't fight and defend that title, you don't get to be the champ anymore. And then, everybody comes up with the argument, then, Uriah Faber, let's say he wins the title, and, Dominic Cruz is the real champ. No, Dominic Cruz isn't the real champ because he couldn't fight. And then whichever one of them gets healthy, Dominic Cruz or Renan Barão, whichever one of you guys gets healthy first gets to fight Uriah Faber and try to get that back. Because I think that's a part of MMA, too, is not getting injured.
Yeah. No, I agree with that, man. Yeah, these guys overtraining, obviously both of them hurt, not in fights, during training, man. That's actually how most people get hurt. Except for fucking, oh my god. Jesus, that brings to mind Mark Hunt. Obviously, that shit happened to him because Junior fucking kicked the shit out of his leg. When you think about it, obviously anybody that hasn't heard about it, Mark Hunt's, he got a staph infection of some sort. More than likely, though, from an infected hematoma from the fight with Junior Dos Santos.
Shit was nasty looking.
Yeah, that thing would blown up. Honestly, and that's just the miracle of science these days. I pointed out, I was saying 100 years ago, that fight would have ended with Mark Hunt dying a week or two later from that infection.
It looked like someone took a drill bit to his leg.
Yeah, the photos were disgusting. I myself only briefly glanced at a thumbnail. There's no reason for me to look at that shit. I've seen it before. Not on me though, ladies. It's never happened to me. All right.
What up, ladies?
That's right. You know what I'm saying. Hit me up on Twitters. You know what I'm saying. And Jim's show. Talk to you all night, baby.
What's up, big girly MMA?
DM me. Hell yeah. But no, that was fucking disgusting, man. The fucking staph infection on Mark Hunt. Disgusting. But yeah, when you think about it, 100 years ago, that fight would have killed him with Dos Santos. Killed him. Makes you wonder how many people in the Civil War that just made it out of the battle, but then died of a fucking infection weeks, months later. You never see that fucking death toll. Anyway, yeah, Mark Hunt, man, do you guys think he's gonna come back after this, man? That was a little too much, and honestly, he's never gonna get a championship title shot, man. What do you think, Jake?
Mark Hunt's the king of the comeback. Who else do you know who has come back from 6 consecutive losses, including a loss against Sean fucking McCorkle, to come back and make a title run? Not only a title run, but a title run in the heavyweight division in the UFC. That's impressive as hell. If anyone can come back, it's the Super Samoan.
Ross, you think we're going to see Mark Hunt back, dude? This is pretty fucking bad.
Mark Hunt's a real fighter. He's a true dude, and like Jake said, he was on a six fight losing streak, I think it was.
Yep.
And he comes back and puts himself in the number one contenders fight. That's impressive. I think he'll be back. I think he'll knock motherfuckers out, and I think he'll remain a top dog.
You heard it here first.
Ninja, what about you, man? Mark Hunt, what do you think, man? Is he too fucked up?
Mark Hunt's kind of like a Roy Nelson or a Stephan Bonner or Forrest Griffin. Basically, people just like to see that guy fight. He can do damage. He has wars. The guy will stand there and let you punch him in the face, and he'll punch back. He leaves it all out there. If there's any way that his health will let him get back in the ring, the UFC's not going to have any problem, because that's just big money. And you know, if it's like a Forrest Griffin kind of person that they just give to champs or let, you know, people run all over him, then that's what they'll do.
Mm-hmm. Well, hopefully he gets 100% better. I just don't know what else is left for him. You know, he had his moment in the sun in the UFC. I mean, it was a good fight, but, you know, Dos Santos fucking owned him. All right, starting with that fucking pitching overhand right, dude. Just, oh god, everybody in the arena heard that one, man. That smack on that punch. I give Mark Hunt credit for still being alive after that shit. That would have killed any other man. It would have killed definitely Ross here. That's for damn sure. Now, let's talk about UFC trolls. I just saw a disturbing interview with Dan Henderson that Arrow Hawaii did. I believe it happened today, right now. The interview was just all about, I mean, even the article that he published said, Dan Henderson bothered by Chael Sonnen's recent allegation. This is a complete troll here. I don't know why Ariel keeps doing this, trying to cause trouble between the two of them. But he basically...
Wait, what did he say?
Well, if you're watching UFC Tonight earlier this week, Chael Sonnen basically he just did a little soundbite. He cut a promo. He was claiming that him and Dan Henderson schemed the whole time to set John Jones up at UFC 151. With the knee injury, Chael was saying he knew about it the whole time, and he was training just to set up Jones. But of course, John Jones turned down the fight at UFC 151. So Chael was basically, you know, he was probably just making that shit up off the top of his head. Who knows? But yeah, so Ariel, he asks Dan Henderson if that was true today. And, of course, forcing Dan Henderson to call Chael Sonnen a liar. And then Ariel was like, does that bother you that he would say something that wasn't true or whatever? So of course Dan Harrison's like, yeah, it bothered me a little bit. That was his exact words. But it is just more baiting from Ariel Hawaii, a supposed reputable MMA journalist. I love him to death. I love what he does, but he does troll. And I've got to call him out because we are talking about UFC trolls right now, MMA trolls. My question to you people: who is the biggest troll in the UFC or MMA world? I mean, to be fair, I'll even put Chael Sonnen as a candidate. He does love himself a good troll. You got Vinny Magalhães. He also loves a good troll himself. Ariel Helwani, he's a troll, in my opinion. Anderson Silva, he came out with that story about his hibs being broken. You know, he fed that to some reporter and he leaked it, causing some sort of scandal the other week. I even think the Diaz brothers do a little trolling. But I just want to go around the table here. Jake, man, who do you think is the biggest, consistent troll in MMA? I might not even have named him.
You've got a lot of annoying trolls on Twitter that give trolls a bad name, but most of the MMA trolls that I think of, I like a lot. Fighter trolls. You mentioned the Diaz brothers, Sonnen, Magalhães. They're all awesome. Twitter trolls that are well known. I mean, you've got to say front row Brian. He's a troll. He's an awesome troll, but he trolls the shit out of people.
Shout out to front row Brian.
Shout out FRB. What up, son? Also, Bloodstained Lane, another awesome Twitter troll. But I think the best troll in mixed martial arts is Mr. Dana White. Whether he's trolling Viacom, even though he did, you know what? No, I'm saying just for what they did at E3, I'm giving Viacom the honorary troll of the week, and I will explain that in just a second. But Dana White, for the most part, whether he's trolling fans on Twitter, calling out fans, calling kids who are 17 ugly because they don't like the card he had put on, or he's trolling a big business, he's always trolling. But my troll of the week is going to fucking Viacom. At the E3, the UFC was rolling out their new game, and I'm not a video game freak, but I was definitely tuned into Spike because I knew that they were going to preview the new UFC game, and I wanted to see what it looked. It looked like. I was watching it a good 15-20 minutes beforehand. There was not a single Bellator promo. When Dana White came on the screen, I literally, for the minute he talked, I think I saw 3 Bellator and Fight Master ads pop up in the corner of the fucking screen, just over and over and over. Probably the sound effects were louder than Dana talking. It would, just be like, and this thing would pop up on the corner of the Fridays at 8 o'clock. Watch Bellator and Fight Master. And I was like, wow, Viacom, you guys went, God, that was, I normally would have found that kind of shitty and shisty, but that was a ballsy ass move.
Did you see that? I posted that, and did you see Dana actually replied to that?
No, what did he say?
Yeah, I posted a screenshot of him speaking on Spike TV with the Bellator ad running, and my comment was just ouch. And then someone else commented, I think it was Alan or something. He commented on it. He said it was a genius move by Spike. And of course Uncle Dana wasn't gonna have that shit, man. So he replied back, let's see, he replied twice. Let me see if I can pull that up.
Yeah, but that was such a troll ass move for Viacom. The UFC gets maybe 2 minutes of airtime during this giant showcase of video games and stuff, and of course, because Spike's airing it, Viacom has got their hands on it. They've got to fuck the UFC royally.
Yeah, he was.
Did you find the tweet?
No, not yet. But basically, he was making fun of Spike and Viacom Bellator for advertising on their own channel. who was like, "Oh yeah, what a genius move, advertising on your own channel." Also, like making a pun at whoever called it a genius move.
Alan.
I don't remember exactly if it was Alan or not, so I don't want to say 100%. But yeah, that was funny as hell because he tweeted about it twice. He was like, "Yeah, real fucking genius." You could tell it kind of got a little bit underneath his skin. But Dana, we
kind of like
obviously
Mikey Ricci, that bum.
Yep. That's right. Yeah, calling another almost near homophobic UFC scandal that just got quietly swept under the rug there. Sorry about that, Jake. But don't worry.
If anybody's wondering what we're talking about,
yeah, explain
Ricci tweeted out, "Went in with brownies, came out with a brown paper bag." And I read this, I was like, what the fuck? I was like, what is that, code for gay sex or something? And he tweeted back, ask your dad, he would know. And I didn't even see it, and somebody screenshotted it for me and sent it over and was like, look at this. And I was like, damn, I like really wasn't trying to like hurt him. I was just making a joke. I mean, you're talking about going in with brownies, coming out with a brown plastic bag. It sounds like gay sex to me.
So Mike Ricci basically was implying that Jake from the MMA
my dad is a
podcast
homosexual.
Is a flaming homosexual.
He's a fancy boy, and he's not a fancy boy. He likes to put his penis in women's vaginas.
Well, obviously, if he produced Jake from the MMA podcast, we wouldn't be here without you, man. So props to Jake's dad for putting it in Jake's mom.
Hell yeah. Thank you for nailing my mom, Dad.
Hell yeah, man. And yeah, with that, we will actually go to... No, wait, hold on. Jake was just the first to weigh in. Who is the biggest troll in the UFC and MMA world? What do you think, Ross? You got a nomination?
Yeah, to me, the biggest troll in MMA, and now I'm about to rant, is fucking Bigfoot Silva. Mm-hmm. This is a guy who literally said, I want to talk to my doctors to see if me, Bigfoot Silva, 6'6", 280 pounds, can cut down to 205. This is a guy who somehow convinced people that he beat Fedor and Travis Brown and Overeem. This is a guy who should be on a 6-fight losing streak, yet somehow managed to rack up 3 of the biggest fluke wins in history. This guy is a complete bum. And he's an idiot.
All right, nice choice. What about you, Ninja Man? There's a lot of trolls in the MMA and UFC world. Do you got a nomination? Who pisses you off or who's funny to you?
The best one, hands down, is Tommy Toehold. And, you know, he trolls in a way that is absolutely hilarious. You fucking cartoon... I mean, if you break down some of the shit he actually says about people, and he does it in a really funny way that makes everybody laugh, but some of the things that he says is like, man, I could not imagine being somebody like Dana White, and, you know, some of the jokes that he makes, and then Dana's like, oh, that's funny, but Tommy Toehold is a genius, and can talk shit about you, and you'll just laugh it off, but everybody else is, like, laughing at you, not with you.
Word. Interesting nomination. I did hear the word on the street that, actually Tommy Toehold and Dana White, they're apparently good friends now. That's all I'll say about that. But as far as UFC trolls go, my nomination, and I'll reveal it in a segment that we like to call Fancy Boy of the Week. It's going to come up here in 1 second.
Yo, do y'all start playing the music?
Yes, people, this is, I'm going to bring you right now,
what is that?
Word on the Street Podcast,
They call me
Fancy Boy of the
Week.
Yep, he's a dandy. He's a real fancy boy.
Word.
Fancy Boy of the Week is who I think is the biggest UFC troll and MMA troll, actually. I'll give him the goddamn world title. And I do think it is going to Ariel Hawaii, I might say. I am a big fan of his work. You know, I don't even mean this as a big insult here, but you know, you have to pick somebody who's a fancy boy. It might as well be the biggest UFC troll. And honestly, it did perturb me a little bit. We brought it up earlier. The Dan Henderson interview he did, basically the most the only question he actually cared about. He wasn't even asking about the fight that much. The first question he went to was, just trying to stir the pot between him and Chael Sonnen. I don't want to see that fight ever go down. It would be sad to watch. But yeah, so for the Dan Henderson interview, trying to, he actually goaded Dan into, just having to out Chael as making up a little lie there about ambushing John Jones. That wasn't necessary. Everybody knew Chael was just fucking making a joke there. God damn it, people. And also, Ariel is the fancy boy of the week because of the shoes. Alright, the flannel shirts and patterns, alright, fine, we'll let that go. That's not exactly too fancy-ish, but the shoes, people, there's no explanation for that. That is a little just fucking weird. That's like, what? How much attention do you need, man? Shoes? No. Imagine if Peter Jennings were to give interviews wearing fucking clown shoes. It'd be outrageous. The guy reporting on the Hindenburg, running away from the explosion, the burning balloon, the Zeppelin in clown shoes. It would have taken away from history itself, people. Ariel Hawaii, you are this week's word on the street. Fancy boy of the week.
What is that? Fancy boy of the week, son.
Yep. And look, people, I'm not going to even lie to you. Here on the Word on the Street podcast, what we do during the whole show is continually smoke weed. And I always know it's time to kind of start wrapping it up. Once I start slowing down, I get the cotton mouth, the dry mouth. That's actually my greatest signal there. I get the dry mouth, my tongue starts catching on this damn, it's not a chip in my tooth, it's like a sharp edge or something. I got to get my ass to the dentist or something.
Like in the front of your mouth or like back in the molars? Yo,
back,
recently I was telling Ray I have the same exact shit like the last couple days when I cough or sneeze. Like one of my molars overnight turned into like a saw because whenever I cough, it just cuts the shit out of my tongue. I don't know what's up, dude.
Yeah, it's some sort of like, it's not exactly a hole or chip or cavity. Well, I guess more than likely it's some sort of chip, but yeah. It's right in the back there, and my tongue catches it every damn time. It's annoying, and I apologize, people. I'm supposed to have a professional radio voice here.
Yo, Ninja, fucking Ross, this is a pretty solid topic. Fucking weed pet peeves. What fucking do like? Obviously, the benefits outweigh the negatives, but what are your pet peeves about sparking it up, Ross?
Pet peeves about just. One thing I hate is just listening to, I'm sorry, there are just some of these stoners out there just so hardcore with their agenda to get it legalized everywhere. But I of course it should be legalized, but like, shit, every
Legalize
second.
it, man. It's not fair. It's God's plant, man.
Like, come on. Giving stoners a bad rap. What the fuck?
Come on, man.
I hear you. Ninja. May or may not be law enforcement, former law enforcement, who knows? Ninja, what do you think about the weed, dude?
Kind of have to go with the same thing, as dull as that sounds. But the little people that have like marijuana leaves on their cell phone fucking covers and marijuana leaves on their fucking shirts. And I mean, like, really? Yeah, you smoke weed, you're cool like everybody else is.
Or 20 blazes.
I mean, is that, like, the coolest thing to do, apparently? Is to be like, look, my marijuana leaf. Yay!
Listen, dude, I'm just trying to listen to the Grateful Dead and chill. Also, can I use your internet for the next 6 months? Because I don't really want to set up a cable account.
Holy fuck, people. I'm feeling the new hit right now, and I love it, people. If you haven't smoked weed, you got to do it right now, all right? Just find somebody you know. Start asking around. I don't care if it's legal or illegal where you live. Just this is the word on the street. It's a plant.
Ask a police officer.
That's right. Ask whoever, man. Everybody's smoking this weed. You have to do it. And trust me, once you are high, the first thing you want to do is rewatch your favorite UFC event. Just rewatch that shit.
And as far as I know, as long as you don't have weed, it's technically not illegal to ask a cop where you can find weed. And I'd say one out of every probably 1 out of every 100 cops are corrupt. So you go up to a cop, ask for weed. If it's one of the 99 of 100 that's not corrupt, they can't book you because you don't have any. If it's a corrupt cop, they'll score you some weed and whatever else you fucking need. It's a win-win proposition. Ask your local police officer or police officer lady for some bud.
That's the word on the street from the MMA podcast, people.
Stoner logic.
That's right. Now, the Word on the Street podcast is brought to you, as always, sponsored by marijuana itself, the plant. I just want to remind everybody there. Follow me on Twitter, The Aunt Jimmy Show, but we will get to the last part of the show. We don't have many challengers here, so, we're going to have 3 people on deck here. But don't worry, it's just a fun trivia game here. We do have Jake from the MMA podcast. He is going to play. I will be conducting the game here. Ninja, hopefully, just humor us and just take a guess whenever we come to you. Whatever, doesn't matter.
If I don't know, the answer's gonna be Shale Sun every time. And so let's do this.
And a quick thing, Ramses, when I was throwing out the guess, because we've done this twice, and I've hosted both times. I'm passing it over. One of the things I was avoiding, I was avoiding saying he lost to this guy or beat this guy, because that makes it really easy to where you can just look up a guy and say, hey, he only has 4 losses, and it's these 4 guys, so I know it's one of them.
Right. Yeah, I'm gonna be fucking doing this on the fly here. But for anybody listening, the trivia game goes, I'll start naming facts about a fighter, and whoever thinks they have a good guess as to who this fighter is buzzes in by saying their name. That's it.
Ninja.
Exactly. Ninja.
Shale Sun.
Incorrect. We will now start the game in official regulation time here.
And you only can pick once per cycle, so once you guess wrong, you're out for that round. And first to 3 points wins.
Yes. Oh, actually, Jake, hopefully you can take over for like 30 seconds to a minute here. I have to take care of some quick business.
Yeah. I'll formally just say what the game is, just in case anyone's listening and they haven't heard. Go and take care of your shit.
And of course, give the champ his intro.
And he deserves it. He's the 5-time defending champ. We will get to it for anybody listening in. And if you want to be a part of it, the phone number is 512-782-WORD. I don't know what those numbers are, so you figure it out your fucking self. 512-782-WORD. If you want to be a part of it, it's still about a minute or so to join in on the fun. And the game is simple. Ramses is going to just name facts of a fighter. He's 6'1", he was born here, he trains this, he's a black belt here, he fought with these 2 promotions, blah, blah, blah. And that narrows it down to one guy. Once me, Ross, or Ninja think we got it, we buzz in with our name. I would just say Jake, and that just avoids the craziness. Say me and Ross said the same fighter's name at the same time, you couldn't really tell. So saying our name is essentially buzzing in, and whoever Ramses thinks buzzed in first is chosen to say who they think it is. Ross, look, I had the belt, I defended it once, and Ross took it away, and he's defended it 5 times. This is very similar to the Shogun Jones rivalry. I'm coming back to take it after 5 title defenses. But Ross is the champion, deserves his intro. You have any words before you put that belt on the line once again, the 6th time, 7th time?
I'm coming to take some souls.
He's coming to take souls. Yo, you should turn on the fucking echo for that shit.
Ross Finkelstein, the defending Word on the Street podcast champion.
And I just gotta say, if you're listening right now and you're a little bit interested in this, you cannot do as worse as I do at this. So fucking call in and give it a shot.
Well, hopefully you got the rules down, Ninja. Just whenever you think you have a guess, just say your name.
Call in, I'll take your soul too.
There we go with the echo from the champion himself. Now here we go, people. I'm going to start right now. Round 1. Facts about the first fighter. His style is wrestling, boxing, and Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. His stance is orthodox. He was born in 1985. He has 19 wins. He began his professional MMA career fighting in the Rage in a Cage and Total Combat organizations. He's fought in the bantamweight division, the featherweight division, and the lightweight division. He is 5'8". His reach is 68 inches. He fights out of Alliance MMA. Ross. Dominic Cruz is correct. Ross wins the first round, people, in Word on the Street trivia. Nice
like
job,
the voice
Ross.
of God. That sucks.
Oh, Jesus Christ. All right, people. Here we go with round 2. Word on the Street trivia. Ross has it. The other 2 players are Jake from the MMA podcast and the Ninja. Second fighter. He is 30 years old. 5'9". He's fought in the lightweight, welterweight, and middleweight divisions. He has a 70-inch reach. 18 wins, 5 losses. He's fighting out of Cambridge, England. His team. Ninja.
Dan Hardy?
It is not Dan Hardy. Not Dan Hardy. He fights in the 155-pound division currently. Like I said, he's 30 years old. His team is the Tsunami Gym. Ross.
John McGuire.
It is John McGuire. Ross wins.
I had no idea John fucking fought at middleweight. That's wild.
Yeah, that is pretty fucked up. That was his... Yeah, he just slowly went down over the years, man. He just keeps losing weight. He is fighting on Saturday. He is my pick. He is the underdog. I hope he does all right, man. Holy shit. So it's the first... By the way, it's the first with 3 points wins. So this is round 3 here. Ross leads with 2 points. Jake and Ninja. Good luck, people. Here we go with the third fighter here. He is an American fighter. 5 feet 11 inches tall. He has a reach of 75 inches. His stance is orthodox. He has a black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu.
Ross.
I'm
going for the early guess here, but Rashad Evans.
Ross has won. It is
what
Rashad
the
Evans.
fuck?
Holy crap.
Are you serious?
There's
literally like 20 guys who are like 5'11" who have a black belt in BJJ.
Sounds
Holy
like someone's
shit.
calling bullshit.
No. I mean, that wouldn't make any sense for you to do the segment if you were just going to plug him the answers. And if you did, he wouldn't have answered that early. That's just fucking insane.
Wait, take me out of it. How would he possibly cheat?
No. I'm saying I don't think he is cheating because even if he was, like, why would he chime in that early and make it that fucking obvious? Like, he obviously is not cheating. Like, that was just that was just fucking insane. That was
fucking wins.
That dude,
wins.
the force is strong with the Jew.
I agree, man. Ross, holy shit. Can you lay our minds to rest here? You were not cheating, right?
You were like 5'11", black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, Ross, Rashad Evans. Like, what?
My next hint was gonna be, he's black. How did you do that, Ross? Clean sweep.
It's called magic, and I just took 2 more souls, and I'm ready to take any other soul.
That didn't make any sense, but I'll be back next fucking Tuesday, cocksucker.
Hopefully. We have a tweet coming in saying that we're not live. What do you think, Jake? Are we? I have no idea.
We are definitely live. He might be talking about listening on Ustream. you have to listen to a bunch of ads. And listening to a 1 minute ad, it'll pause what you were listening to and get back to it. So say you're listening for an hour, you might actually be a few minutes behind what we're doing. But nope, we have live listeners right now, and I'm coming through. I can see the little level going up and down. We're definitely live.
Oh, cool. Yeah, it was Haley 420. Follow her.
Haley, what you talking about? Quit messing with the J-Train!
She's actually definitely follow her on Twitter. She's a babe. I'll tell you that right now. She's really cute.
What up, Haley?
She's like,
hooray for movies.
Hey, what up?
She puts out UFC prediction videos where she is hitting a giant bong.
Puts out?
What up, Haley?
Is that what you just said?
Oh, is that the chick like sitting like outside of her house in front of an AC unit?
Yep.
Oh.
Yep.
Oh.
She says every time I go to watch your show, it's not live. That was her tweet to me.
Hey.
So hopefully it worked out. I have no fucking idea.
Hey, what up, Haley?
But Haley, we love you. Hell yeah.
Hey,
Just check her out on Twitter, Haley420. You can
Haley,
watch her
follow me on
prediction
Twitter,
videos.
girl.
She sits there hitting a giant bong, just all solo, not even any friends. That shit's going down, and then she just talks UFC shit and MMA.
Why don't we get that chick on the show?
We actually will try.
Tired of this
Follow
fucking
me, girl.
sausage
The MMA
fest.
podcast.
I know, Ninja.
Blue Lemon
I know. We are
Schultz.
going to make love connections. I was talking to Kelvin Gastelum earlier about trying to hook him up with Ronda when she's on the show, so we are going to do that.
Bury my face in her titties.
That's right. Shout out to Kelvin, by the way. He is one of the best friends of the show, the fighter that we've had on the most, actually. He is going to come on pretty damn soon, too. Like I said, we have a bunch of fucking crazy guests lined up. It's going to be nuts. You guys won't even fucking believe who we're going to have. But it just goes to show, if you do your thing and you have fun and you're honest, good things will happen.
Kelvin,
now, Ross,
if you try to take my goddamn Ronda Rousey, I'm going to beat you up and take the Ultimate Fighter fucking title from you.
You heard it first. Ninja versus Kelvin. It's going down on the Word on the Street podcast. But Ross, I'm not going to deny you of your victory speech here. You are, I believe this is your 6th or 7th title defense, Word on the Street trivia contest. They've even changed the rules on you, tried to switch things up. What do you have to say, man? Congratulations.
You're the best competitor in the world today. They got a name for you. They don't call you a great competitor. They call you the best Jew in the business, Ross Finkelstein. Beat me if you can.
Ross Finkelstein, ladies and gentlemen. Holy fuck. Now, unless anyone wants to speak their piece or say anything else here, bring anything else up, we are going to wrap up.
Fucking rigged.
That remains to be seen.
Undefeated, highly disputed.
Yo, you were literally like 5'11" black belt Rashad, and I don't think it was rigged. I just think that was batshit insane.
6'2", he's a wrestler, and Ross fucking answers and gets it right. Come on.
Well,
really?
He is always disputed. We're gonna have to deal with that, Ross.
Honestly, I was probably a second behind him when you said Alliance MMA. I was about to buzz in and Ross beat me, but the other two, John and Rashad, I wasn't anywhere close to. I was thinking about you. I said middleweight, welterweight, lightweight. I was thinking about people who had done that, and I had no idea that John McGuire had done that. And obviously Rashad, you were like, he's a UFC fighter, Rashad Evans.
Yeah, man. It was a quick. I mean, Jesus, it was some Anderson Silva like performance there. He dealt with you guys quickly. I have to say that. Credit to the Jew, the best Jew in the MMA business, Ross Finkelstein, once again defends his title. And people, follow me on Twitter, The Aunt Jimmy Show, and we'll just go around here before we sign off for the night. Thank you for listening. The next episode is going to be even more ridiculous. Well, actually, the Tuesday episode is going to be interesting. I'm going to have to become a legal expert. I swore to myself I'd never open up another law book, but here we go. But Jake, from the MMA podcast, where can people contact you and watch and listen to the show, which I also am lucky enough to co-host?
Yeah, just go on YouTube and search The MMA Podcast. Follow us on Twitter, The MMA Podcast, TheMMAPodcast.com, iTunes, The MMA Podcast. That's pretty simple.
There's only one MMA podcast.
And it's us, bitches!
Ross, where can people find you, contact you, follow you? What's up?
You can find the champ. That is the champ, Ross Finkelstein, at Ross Finkelstein on Twitter. E before L. I'm coming out with all kinds of posters, all kinds of good shit, and I'm taking souls.
Hell yeah. Ninja, what about you? Do you want people talking to you on the Twitters? Are you fed up or just women only? What are the rules here, and where can they reach you?
Well, definitely, if you're a hot chick, you can follow me anytime at the Ninja Larson on Twitter. If you're not stupid, you can follow me on Twitter. But if you're an idiot and you're just gonna post nonsense to me, just shut up and save your keystroke.
If you're gonna be posting pictures of Jared Leto all fucking day, don't bother following me or Ninja, cocksucker.
Yeah, I've had about enough of the fucking Jared Leto myself, man.
You know who you're talking about, cocksuckers.
It's played out, and plus he's a fancy boy. He's a known fancy boy.
He's like 45, he's wearing diapers, putting guns to his own head. Pull the trigger, you fancy boy.
He's literally Josh Thompson's worst nightmare. That is the word on the street, and we are going to just switch off live here, go into the after-hours show full of racism and whatnot and sexism you wouldn't even believe, people. This is the word on the street. Follow me on Twitter, the Anti-Jimmy Show on Twitter. Thanks for tuning in, and I just wish nothing but the best for all of you, except for one person I won't even name. Wow, I caught myself at the last minute there. I almost just ruined the whole damn show. I almost just ruined everything. Now, people... yeah, just tune in next time. Thank you. Jake, take us out of here. Good night.
Good night, guys.